Warm up for lesson 4-7, transformation of quadratic graphs. Pause to do the problem. And here is the answer. Pause to do the problem. And here's the answer. Pause to do the problem. And here's the answer. Pause to do the problem. And here's the answer. Lesson 4-7, transformations of quadratic graphs. Write a quadratic function in the form y equals a quantity x minus h squared plus k. Let's take a look at the parent function y equal to x squared. In the past, we've talked about a translation of the parent function. X minus 2 is a movement of 2 units to the right. X squared minus 4 is a translation of 4 units down. We'll now be looking at dilations as well. The vertex form looks like this. And in the vertex form, it reveals the vertex, so we know the turning point of the parabola. This is what we call standard form. In standard form, you can't see where the turning point is. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can't get into standard form. The first step is that you need to know the vertex, because it's called vertex form. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is opposite of b over 2a. So x will be equal to, here's my b, opposite of b divided by 2a. So that'll just be a 2, which is negative 3. Now we're going to solve for y. That means we're going to put 3 back into here. That'll be a positive 9 minus 18 minus 5. And then that will be negative 13. So now we know our vertex, and when we find our vertex, we can put our h, which is the x-coordinate of our vertex. So let me go ahead and put that right here. So we have h, k, and our h is negative 3, and our y is negative 13. So I'm going to put negative 3 here, and I'm going to put negative 13 here. Now, the a refers to the a in the original standard form, so this is going to be the number 1. Now I can write my equation. Y is equal to, and you don't have to bother writing 1, x plus 3 quantity squared minus 13. Now this is the same as this. They have the same graph, but this reveals the vertex. Let's try another one. Y is equal to negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 3. I have already figured out the vertex, 2 and 5, using this vertex formula. So I've already put the number 2 in for h, and I put the number 5 in for k. So now what I need to do is I need to think about what a is. Well, a in our standard form was negative 2, so this is going to be negative 2. And so now I can write my answer. Y is equal to negative 2 x minus 2 quantity squared plus 5. I want you to know that you can check your work. And here's how you check your work. Y is equal to negative 2. I'm going to expand this, x squared minus 4x plus 4. And I'm going to now distribute. And this is negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 8 plus 5. And you can see I have the negative 2x like I have over here. I have the 8x like I have here. And I know that these two will make the negative 3. So it's the same parabola, just written a different way. Let's write each function in vertex form. Again, it's important that you figure out your vertex. So as soon as you figure out your x using the formula x is equal to opposite b over 2a, identify your b, identify your a, and our hk will be negative 2, 2. Once you figure that out, you're going to put the negative 2 in here for h, the 2 in here for k, and we already know that our a is 1, so we can already substitute 1 in there. And so our answer will be, and I think I'm forgetting my square here, equals x plus 2 quantity squared plus 2. Over here, I have figured out my vertex, my hk. My hk is 3 comma negative 1. Now knowing my hk will allow me to put my h here, which is 3 and my k here, which is -1. Now to figure out my a, I have to look up here in the standard form, and I know that a is going to be 2. Now let me clean it up. Y is equal to 2x minus 3 quantity squared minus 1. These two will graph the same parabola, but this reveals the vertex where this does not. Okay, your turn. Pause the video, and here are the answers. And over here, again, I check my work to see that this truly becomes this when I multiply out. All right, let's take a look at what happens about finding an equation when you have a graph. Okay, so in this graph, I can see my vertex. So I know that my hk, h comma k, is equal to 3 comma 2. And that's what I'm going to put in for h, 3, k I'm going to put in 2. Now, a, I don't know what a is. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use this second point right here. And everywhere I see a y, I'm going to write -2. And everywhere I see x, I'm going to write a -1. So this is going to be -2 is equal to, now this is going to be a -4. -4 squared is 16a. And then this is going to be plus 2. I'm going to do 16a is equal to -4. Therefore, a is equal to -1/4. Now, the negative tells me the parabola's facing down. And so let's see if I can't find that answer. So this is going to be -1/4. This is the only one with a -1/4. And it does have my 3 and 2 the way I wanted it. So it is B. Okay, which is the equation for this function? Okay, again, I've identified my vertex. hk is equal to, in this case, it's -1, -2. Everywhere I see an h, I write -1. Everywhere I see a k, I write -2. And I also need to use my second point here. So everywhere I see a y, I'm going to write 13. Everywhere I see an x, -4. Now, some students will do both substitutions in the same line, and that's okay. Or you can do them one at a time. 13 is equal to, this will be -3 squared, which is 9a minus 2. 9a is equal to 15. So a is equal to 5/3. So I'm looking for an a that's 5/3. There's only one a that's 5/3, and it's right here. And it does share my x plus 1, and it has the -2 where I want. All right, what is the equation of the graph? Pause to see what you can do. And here's the answer. All right, so transformation of quadratic functions. Let's review a little bit. Now, if you put a number that's positive here for your h here, you are moving it to the right. If you put, say, a negative number in here, that's going to simplify to x plus 3. That's going to be a left movement. Up movement, h has to be positive. Down movement, this will be negative, so that will be down 3. A reflection has a negative sign in front of it. Remember our parent, this is our parent, x squared. Now to stretch the parent, you will multiply by a number bigger than 1, and if you want to compress it like over here, you'll have a number between 0 and 1. And so in summary, this is what it looks like. All right, so let's graph. We're going to write the equation in vertex form. So I am going to look at my graph here, and I know it's 2, -6, so I'm going to write 2 here and -56. And then I know that this has a 4, so I'll put the 4 right here. So when we go about graphing, the first step is to graph the vertex. And once you graph the vertex, then you're going to use this 4 to start graphing your other points. And remember, it's going to be in this pattern 1, 3, 5. So for every unit 1, you're going to go up 1 if a is 1. Now since a is 4, then you're going to multiply all these by 4, and this will be 4, 12, and 20. So when you move over 1 unit, you're going to go up 4. When you move over the next unit, you're going to go up 12. And this is how we start graphing this. Okay, let's do one from scratch here. I know my vertex, I've used my vertex formula. I'm going to have 5, 7. So I'm going to write a 5 here, and I'm going to write a 7 here. And I know my A is 1, so I have that right here. So now I have my vertex form right here, and I'd like to see if I know how to graph. So my vertex is 5, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's my vertex. I know since A is positive that the parabola will be going up. Now when A is 1, then we're going to use this pattern 1, 3, 5. So you're going to go over 1 unit, up 1 unit, and you're going to do the same on the other side. And then you're going to go over 1 unit, and then you're going to go up 3. Over 1 unit and then go up 3. And now you have a pretty decent parabola. All right, let's take a look at trying to graph this one. Now I've already found the vertex, and I'm going to be able to put that in. X is 1 and Y is 4. And I know my A is 5 from this, so I'm going to put a 5 right here. So my equation is Y is equal to 5 x minus 1 squared plus 4. I'm going to graph my vertex, and my vertex is 1, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know the parabola is going up like this. If A were equal to 1, my pattern would be 1, 3, 5, but my A is equal to 5, so I have to multiply all these by 5. And so when I move over 1, I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a stretching over 1, up 5. And I go ahead, and that's going to be enough since I've run out of graph to be able to graph my parabola. Pause. Let's see what you can do. And here is the answer. One of the first answers I crossed out was this one, the one going down. And the reason I did that was because there was no negative here. And then I went ahead and just found my vertex. My vertex was negative 2, 4, and there was only one graph with a vertex of negative 2, negative 4.